and Facebook. All right, we are live. Welcome to our live broadcast today. Mondays are the day that we are now going to be going live broadcasting here in our community so that we have an opportunity to have an open dialogue and discussion about what we are doing for today's aging woman and in our community. So welcome. Please take a second to hit that subscribe button if you're joining us on YouTube. And take a second to hit that bell notification. That's when we go live, you will know and you will be able to jump in with us. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you share this broadcast as well with those that you think might need some help with what they're doing with their weekend sabotaging. And for those of you on Facebook, always take a second to hit that like button as well. And make sure that you are set up for notifications. So today we are going to be talking about the concept of falling off the wagon. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Diane. And in this community, we talk about different aspects of life for the aging woman so that we can empower ourselves to make decisions where we can look and feel our best and live our most authentic life. We generally have the discussion around intermittent fasting because we are showing and proving to ourselves that that really is a tool that is helping a lot of us here in this aging community. So today's topic is falling off the wagon. And I chose to talk about this on a Monday because Monday is the day that we usually start to feel the effects of decisions that we make over the weekend. And I know falling off the wagon is one of those off-the-cuff remarks that a lot of us really make in an attempt to cover up maybe a little bit of guilt and or shame for what we did in the decision-making process over the weekend. So do me a favor, in the comment section of wherever it is that you're joining us, put a little note in there if you have ever used that phrase, fallen off the wagon, as a means to excuse maybe some decisions that you made that you knew were not the best for you at the time that you were making them, and helped you kind of ease a little bit of that guilt. I know I have definitely used that phrase before, and it was that thing that just perpetuated my own self-agony on some of the goals that I was trying to achieve. So what I wanted to do today was start today's discussion off with defining what the true definition of falling off the wagon is, in hopes of helping us understand what we are doing to our own mindset and the belief system we have about some of these activities that we are partaking in, and flippantly using that as our excuse. So the formal definition of falling off the wagon is really used in the alcohol aspect of falling off the wagon. And the formal definition is to start drinking alcohol again after a period of time where you have abstained from it. So we hear that a lot, like someone has fallen off the wagon. They maybe gave up drinking for a few months and started drinking again, and they refer to that in that sense. The informal definition of falling off the wagon is resuming any bad activity. And these are the literal descriptions of bad activity that refer to falling off the wagon: drugs, smoking, and overeating. And so think about that. Think about drugs, smoking, overeating, and alcohol used in an excessive type of way. And that's really what falling off the wagon refers to. And when we think about how we as women are so flippantly using that phrase and what that is doing to our own mindset and internal dialogue that we're developing in our head, like we are partaking in these bad habits. And then we take ownership of it. Like it's sort of okay because there was this wagon that we fell off of, and that excuses everything. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we go from the wagon to the struggle bus, trying to make up for all those bad decisions. Then by Thursday, Friday, we start feeling better again, and lo and behold, the wagon shows up. And so we end up in this vicious cycle of self-destruction and this mindset game that we're playing with ourselves, that we are constantly doing bad by ourselves. And so I wanted to give some tips on how we can end this cycle, and hopefully the true definitions of what falling off the wagon mean will make you think twice about whether you're going to refer yourself in that way again. So how do we get over this falling off the wagon, excusism that we use, and this mindset that we're creating in our own head, and the dialogue that we're creating about all this bad that we're doing for ourselves. And because there's this wagon, it's suddenly okay. Well, the first thing that we have to admit to ourselves is that there's no wagon. The wagon doesn't exist. It's an inanimate object that we are putting into our lives as a means to excuse away what we already know that we're not supposed to be doing. I mean, we know in our gut, we know in our heart, we even know in our own head that what we're about to do, or the way that we just sort of throw away all common sense on the weekend, is already something that we're not going to be proud of. We already know what the end result of that is because we've jumped off the wagon so many times before. But because that's such an easy way to excuse it away, we do it again and again and again. So the first thing you have to do is get rid of the wagon. It is not part of your arsenal anymore. It is not in your vocabulary. It is not in your belief system. And it is not the means that you use any longer to excuse away bad decision making about how you are going to take care of yourself. So the first thing you want to do is get rid of the wagon. It's not part of your vocabulary, and it's not a part of your excuse situation anymore. The second thing we want to do is we want to change our mindset about how we believe we are supposed to be taking care of ourselves. If you follow me on Instagram or you've been hanging out here for a while, you know I have a book of the month goal that I have, and I've been reading a book called why women are up at night, or why women can't sleep at night, or it's something along those lines. And it's about our own midlife crisis and the crisis that so many of us women are going through in this midlife stage. And this book is beautifully written in describing all the pain points we have as women, right? All the things that we have fought through or suffered through, or all of these things that are angsting at us. And what I'm realizing in reading this book is that a lot of the things that are troubling us and keeping us awake at night, we're doing to ourselves, right? And one of those things could be this whole wagon syndrome that we have, this opportunity that we have as an easy excuse of why we don't feel good on Monday, why we can't lose weight, why we keep tripping over ourselves in this pit of excuses of why we can't have it all. Whether it's something that's going on with how you look and feel about yourself, with it's something that you have going on medically with yourself, with it's that nagging 5 or 10 pounds that you haven't been able to lose since you've had kids, and you've already got grandkids in your arsenal of family lineup. And what is it that's keeping us from just being honest with what we're doing and taking care of ourselves? Why are we so okay with being up at night worrying about all these things that when you really break it down, we have control over so much of it? The one thing that I really, really want to empower women about when we come together in this community is the opportunity we have to take care of ourselves, and that we have to be very honest about it, and we have to be very conscious in our decision-making process, and we have to utilize the tools that we have available to us. One of those being you sitting right here and listening and being part of a community of women who are just like you, going through some of the same pains and some of the same frustrations, and put this information to the test for you. So get rid of the wagon. It doesn't exist for us in this community. There is no such thing. We are grown women. We know how to take care of ourselves. We don't use food as a means to solve our problems. We don't use food on the weekends as a means to self-sabotage ourselves. So when Monday around, we have a reason for feeling like crap, and we have a reason for why it is we aren't showing up. We need to take responsibility for ourselves. And I'm going to try to say this without shedding a tear, but if any of you watched the Kobe Bryant memorial today and you felt any sort of sadness, or you shed a tear about the sad events that were going on, and his wife and his daughters that are left behind, and all the people that are heartbroken, y'all, we don't have time to be playing around with wagons anymore. We have every day that we should be grateful for, that we are blessed to be on this earth, that we are blessed for our health, we are blessed with the family that we have, and we have to stop using little excuses like wagons for why it is we are not taking care of ourselves. We have tools at our disposal. We have information at our disposal. We are in an information age right now. Lack of information is no longer an excuse. Lack of resources are no longer excuse. Lack of finances are no longer an excuse, because we all know in this community that if you fast long and feast well, it is the most economic way to live your life around really nutritious, high quality food. You just eat less and you embrace the energized sense of calm while you're in your fasting state, and you stop relying on supplementation desperation to do the work for you. You show up and you do the work yourself. So I am going to encourage you, and I'm going to ask of you, when you go through these next few months of your life, please make sure you are aware of the words that you are using and the excuses that you're making and the self-sabotage you're setting yourself up to go through and endure. Don't fall off the wagon that doesn't exist, and make conscious decisions for yourself. Know that you deserve every opportunity in this life as an aging woman to show up looking and feeling your best and creating your most authentic life. And I don't know of any woman who I've talked to in this community who believes that her most authentic life is falling on and off of a wagon every weekend and every Monday afternoon or every Monday morning when she wakes up. We deserve the opportunity to sleep well at night. We deserve the opportunity to get through these pain points that a lot of us start to feel as we go through this aging process. And we deserve to wake up every morning standing tall, living out our best life, and showing up as our best self for us first, and then the people that we love thereafter. Because if we can't show up for ourselves first as our best, then we definitely won't have what it takes to show up for the people who also love and need us. So please stop using the wagon as your excuse, and I hope this information today helps you with that. With that being said, I'm going to open up the community discussion. If you haven't done so yet and you are a fall off the wagon phrase user, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. You are not alone. I was also that woman. Oftentimes when we admit what it is that we're struggling with, and then we can get reinforcement and encouragement from a group of like-minded women who are also going through the same thing, it helps us visualize and see ourselves in a different light. So we are here to help you. We're not here to judge. I will always openly admit my faults as well. And I was also that woman, and I just simply got rid of the wagon. And I make very informed choices and very conscious choices about how I'm choosing to live my life. And I'm hoping that I'm empowering you to do the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on Facebook first, and then YouTube, I will be there just in a second. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Always feel free to hit the like button. If you are a fall off the wagon person, hit that like button so that we know when we come back through and other women join this video broadcast later, they will also know that they are not alone as well. Janice, new to the group, welcome girlfriend. We always love having new people join our community. Teresa, yes, I have used that phrase. Now I make conscious choices if I choose to indulge in ways that are not part of my normal lifestyle. Yes, and a normal lifestyle, Teresa, thank you for saying that in that way. Your normal lifestyle doesn't mean that it has to be picture perfect. Your normal lifestyle doesn't mean that you only eat within this certain tight confine of food choices. I ate my tail off this weekend. My son was home. We had a family weekend here. I ate all day yesterday, and I made very conscious decisions about all the things that I ate, including a flourless chocolate cake with a scoop of vegan ice cream on the side, and I loved every minute of it, and I owned it, and I was so happy to share all those experiences with my kids. And I woke up this morning feeling like a boss, like I was ready to start my Monday, no regrets. So making sure that you have a normal lifestyle and then you make conscious decisions when you step outside of it will definitely take that guilt away. And Teresa, you said that beautifully. Thank you so much for sharing that. Karen, good evening from the UK, IF June 2019 grad. And yes, I've definitely fallen off the wagon more than a few times. Well, Karen, I'm giving you permission to get rid of the wagon so that you don't have to fall off it anymore, and you can just go about your life just making really good decisions for yourself. Deb, Good afternoon from November 2019 class. We are the best things to do. What are the best things to do when we're feeling hungry in the 18th and 19th hour of our fasting window? Don't watch the clock. And then oftentimes when we're hungry in the later part of our fasting window, that's when magic is happening. So congratulations, your body's digging deep to find what it needs to utilize its own body as its own resources. And then figure out why it is you're hungry, because you can go through periods of time when you're consistently fasting long and feasting well, where you get to the 18th or 19th hour, and then before you know it, you're in the 22nd or 23rd hour. So oftentimes it's what you did in your last feast that can encourage those late fasting window hungries. So do a little self-inventory on that, Deb, and then get back to us and let us know what you figured out there. And then Teresa, thank you for reminding me that there is no excuse for taking care of me always. I'm living my most authentic life. Teresa, congratulations, girlfriend. You are winning the game for sure. We definitely do have to take ownership of the decisions that we make, because it does definitely start with us. And then once we take that ownership, then we can make conscious decisions. And I think that is when we actually start being our most authentic self, because we can wake up in the morning looking and feeling our best and then congratulate ourselves for those decisions that we've made as well. Let's see, we have here me too, Melinda, multiple times. Me too, girlfriend, but not anymore. So you're on a new track for sure, and you are a January 2020 grad. So now you have the skills and experience to make sure that you are living your most authentic life. Nancy, yes, I've used that term. I was weak and had 1 pint of ice cream and 5 Oreos. So that's not weak. And that's another thing that I really want us to think about rephrasing when we're describing things. So having a pint of ice cream and 5 Oreos is a grown-up woman's conscious decision. So you knew what you were doing going into that. I would say enjoy the heck out of every one of those Oreos and every little spoonful of that ice cream, and then exit out of that and go about your day. So you don't have a weak moment in that. You just made a conscious decision to do things outside of what you normally do. That's fine. You move about your life, and you don't live in regret, and you don't live in remorse, and you just move about your day. What I would ask that what we should do in those situations where maybe we feel like, oh gosh, I just did something and it didn't make me feel great, or you wake up the next morning and you're like, why is my face all poofy? What did I do? Then the next time you get into that situation, you'll reconsider what activity you're going to do based on your past experience of the result of it. So if you don't wake up looking and feeling your best, that will give you a better sense of connection to the next decision, as opposed to being weak, because being weak is another one of those excuses that's easy to justify. But if you don't want to look bad and you don't want to feel bad, that's an easier mental and emotional connection to make the next time the Oreos and the ice cream pop up in your window. So Nancy, just get over it and move on for sure. And then Brenda from North Carolina, July and August 2019 grad, mindset matters for sure. How we think about ourselves and how we think about taking care of ourselves will ultimately help us make the best decisions. Norma, I did the course in September 2019. I think it was September. Yeah, that's fine. As long as you are a grad, and we love having you here. Thank you so much for jumping in. And then Corrine, hi from Holland. Total abstinence is the best. No falling off the wagon for me. No carbs for me. I crave what I eat. Meat only carnivore. Congratulations. I always love when people find their thing. I personally am not a carnivore. I can't eat like that, but I'm glad that you found your way. Donna, can you put the book in the show notes? Yeah, I will click on it for sure. And then Michael put my Amazon link in there as well. If you guys go to my Amazon store, and the links are in the comment section, it has every book that I recommend here in this community. You can go in and look for it for sure. And so this one is called Why Women Can't Sleep, I think is what the name of it. It's called Our New Midlife Crisis. It's a great, great book. Gabriella, yes, I thought I deserved a couple of pancakes and it felt good. But by the way, I transitioned from 18 to 20 hours harder than I thought, but I am now into it and hope I can feel progress. Yeah, so when you have, like, I ate an all carb day yesterday, and I woke up this morning and crushed my workout. And yeah, I felt a little bit more angsty during my fast today, and that's because my body's going, I want more of that drug you gave me yesterday, but I already know that going in. And so I just kept busy today, drank lots of water, and got through my day and broke my fast the way I usually do. So it's usually that first day. If you know what you did and you own it, you can get through that next fast for sure. So just stay conscious during that next fast. And then Nancy, yes, Kobe Bryant Memorial, very sad. Yes, we are very blessed. Yes, we are. And I cried my eyes out and remembered all the things I'm grateful for and all the things that I am blessed with. One of those being my health, and the second one being resources to information that I have the opportunity to make the choice to implement or not. So remember, we always have the choice to implement good information that we're receiving. Corrine, but with fasting, I do sabotage myself and often break my fast after 3 days, and I feel like a failure. Corrine, I would work on that for sure. No reason to feel like a failure if your body's telling you need to break a fast. I highly recommend checking into your personality type. Not everyone can do multiple day fasts, especially water fast. So it might not be that you're failing. It just might be that your personality isn't set up for that type of fasting. So I always do a self-evaluation on those for sure. And then, hey girlfriend, Layla from Norway, graduate from August 2019. Both my husband and I are enjoying our new lifestyle and the health benefits of intermittent fasting. Thank you to Diane. Oh, thanks girlfriend. Love when you guys check in from all over the world, and I'm glad you and your husband are doing it together. That is always a very blessed opportunity for sure. And then Bonita, every week I fast 72 hours Monday to Wednesday and intermittent fast 16 hours Thursday through Sunday. Is that okay? I don't know. If it's working for you, then it's okay for you for sure. I believe everyone should figure out what system and rhythm works for them. And again, it's always personality based as well. So it sounds like that's working for you, so it's definitely okay. And then Lori, I don't say fall off the wagon as I give into cravings. Same thing. Good. And then Dorian, I fell off the wagon and got run over by it. No, get rid of the wagon so it can't do that to you anymore, for sure. And then Natalie, new to the group, love today's topic. I've noticed I do fall off the wagon every 2 weeks to 4 weeks due to either sleep deprivation, when I'm overstressed, sad, or mad with myself. So Natalie, definitely consider joining our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course. I give you a lot of tips and tricks on how to overcome these kind of self-sabotaging type of things and how to create a mindset where you can create boundaries for yourself and you don't feel like you're always having to cave for something else. And another thing I always like to really help women with, especially when I'm doing my one-on-one consult calls, is that when you refer to yourself in a certain way, like I am something, and we actually do this in our midlife mindset shift course when we create I am statements. So if you say like I am a self-sabotager or I am a stress eater, then you take ownership of that, and it's really easy to then back the ownership statement up with an activity that matches. So if you're stressed out, consider being something else, like I'm a stress walker, or I handle stress well, and create statements of ownership for yourself so when you find yourself in those situations, you don't succumb to the activity that matches up with the ownership statement that you gave yourself, unless of course it's a positive. So change the description of how you react in certain situations, and then you will act it out in a different way. The same thing with sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation doesn't mean you need food. Sleep deprivation means you need more sleep. So figure out how you can get more sleep, and food can often lead to, or overeating, especially eating the wrong type of foods, can enhance the problem that you're having with your sleep. So you have to make that connection for sure. And sleep deprivation is not healed with eating more food, especially bad food. You just have to figure out what's keeping you from getting sleep for sure. So hopefully that will help you there, Natalie. And then Ruthie, very strict with myself. My falling off the wagon entails once in a few weeks, I allow myself conscious carbs, something like True North Almond Pecan Crunch and dates. I don't think that that's falling off the wagon. I think that that's eating a healthy, balanced diet with some variation in it. So rephrase when you have dates. And if dates aren't serving you well and you equate having dates to falling off the wagon, then I would get rid of the dates, because that seems like you're self-sabotaging yourself for no reason. So eat the dates and enjoy the dates for what the dates do for you. And dates are very nutritious. Yes, they might have some more carbs in them, but carbs aren't bad. We fast to help with a keto-like approach to what we're doing with our nutrition. So I would rephrase how you're definitely putting those foods into your life for sure. And then Korean option on dry fasting, I have the tendency to drink too much water during a water fast and am more hungry. Dry fasting is easier. No, dry fasting is not easier. If you're hungry during a 3-day fast, it's because you're not fat adaptive. It has nothing to do with how much water you're drinking. I would suggest maybe adding in some mineral water for sure. I personally don't advocate dry fasting, so do your research on that. See if that might be a good thing for you. And then Gabriella, thank you for the magnesium advice. I'm sleeping without waking up. I'm amazed. Yes, for sure. Magnesium is that trick for sure. We often are walking around very magnesium deficient, which is why a lot of us are having trouble sleeping. So you want to make sure you're checking in with how much magnesium you're getting for sure. And then I'll check back here with Facebook really quick. Denise, sitting here at work trying to avoid going over to the coworker's desk for a box of Girl Scout cookies. Girl, don't do it. Let homegirl who has the Girl Scout cookies enjoy her Girl Scout cookies, and you don't want to have them unless, of course, Girl Scout cookies are going to be the thing that makes you happy today, and then have a Girl Scout cookie. But if you're going to immediately go into falling off the wagon mode or self-sabotage mode or feel regretful or remorseful or wake up tomorrow morning not liking the way you look and feel, Girl Scout cookies are not your thing. Just say no thank you and keep on walking for sure. And then Catherine, hair on point today. Thank you, girlfriend. Today was hair washing day, so it's always a good day when you get a fresh wash after not washing your hair and working out all weekend. So thank you. I will take the compliment for sure. I think that's it, right, Michael? We got it all? Awesome. Okay, so cure number 1, if you are a habitual fall off the wagon type of woman, get rid of the wagon. It doesn't exist. Go back to the beginning of this broadcast and review my definitions of what falling off the wagon literally mean, and do you want to be part of that grouping of people who fall off a wagon? I know I don't partake in those type of habits, and so therefore falling off the wagon is not an option for me. Make conscious decisions about how you are taking care of yourself. Realize that as women, we are blessed with the opportunity to have a choice to live the way we want to live and to age successfully. Exercise that choice instead, and I promise you, you will have so many blessed days ahead of you where you wake up every morning telling yourself that you are looking and feeling your best and living your most authentic life, and that is what life is all about, especially for us aging women. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you get signed up for our March 2020 Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. We start on March 7th. Registration closes on March 6th. If you want more information about it, please make sure you get on my email list. We will start doing email invites next week. I would love to have an opportunity to have you go through the course with us and learn a lot of this mindset work that we are doing to make sure that we are not only physically healing our bodies as aging women, but we're doing the work on us mentally and emotionally as well, so we know how to take care of ourselves best. Thanks for joining me today. Look for a video upload on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then again on Friday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then I will join you guys back here live on Monday at 3 p.m. Have a super blessed week, and I'll see you guys around.